Today we're looking at how to sell more with recommendations, and this is a webinar driven by PureClarity. I'm Jess, and I'll be taking you through the webinar today. And you can see here on this screen that I've put the agenda here. So there's a couple of key things that I'll be taking you through today. It's all around the recommendations element of the merchandising products of PureClarity. So first of all, what are the benefits of doing this? How does recommendations work? How does personalization work? And what will you see as a result of rolling this out? Then we'll go through the different types of recommendations that are used within e-commerce space across a number of different types of e-commerce. Best practice placement on where to put these recommendations, where to put them on the site, where are the most effective areas. Using automation and using systems to generate these recommenders. How to use behavioural data to inform recommenders and campaigns. And then finally, we've got some secrets around how people are using this and what they're seeing and what kind of benefits they're seeing of that. So let's get started. So a little bit of background to PureClarity. PureClarity is a suite of products that delivers e-commerce personalization. We have personalized search, personalized merchandising, and email marketing. But today I'll be focusing on the merchandising element, specifically the recommendations. So first of all, what are the benefits of rolling this out? Rolling out personalized recommendations, whether that's products, brands, categories, you're directly and indirectly improving the customer experience and inferring that people are going to want to buy these items. And so by directly giving them products that are relevant to them, you're incentivizing them to go on to purchase them, but also indirectly. The user experience of a personalized journey is far more improved than if they go onto a site that is speaking to a mass audience. Obviously, by improving this user experience, you're reducing the bounce rate. Specifically, if your homepage is highly targeted to the person that has just landed on it. People are more likely to browse the site, so you're increasing the page views. You're engaging with people from the start right through to when they go on to make the purchases. Increased sales, of course, is an obvious one, but you're really presenting items that they're going to go on to buy. So it's proven that people are more likely to initially land on these pages, whether that's homepage, product page, etc. They're going on to buy the items that you're showing them. Average order value. Now, this is an area that is often overlooked. It's usually conversion that is focused on. But if you have a valued customer base that is regularly coming back and they're spending a certain amount of money, by using recommendations that are highly relevant, you're going to increase that, you're going to engage with them a little bit more, they'll spend a little bit more, and that adds up. Having recommenders on various places of the site means that customers have an additional way of navigating to products. Now, of course, if you have a homepage recommender and people click onto that, that's one click from the homepage to the product, rather than going through either the search or the navigation. So the types of recommenders. Now, using the personalization engine underneath, there are 3 levels of this personalization that the recommenders are using to deliver the relevant results. The first level is personalization in its truest form. So what the individual is doing, what they're purchasing, what they're viewing, what time of day they're coming onto the site, their favorite brand. It's the individual. Segmentation is the concept of clustering people together in profiles based on things that are common about them. So again, based on their favorite brands, maybe the time of day that these people view, whether they are coming in from a mobile or a desktop. Using a cluster, you're then saying that people within that same segment are likely to do the same things and be interested in the same things using the data analysis. And then finally, across the crowd, we have trends, things that are being responded to across all of the different segments. So using 3 different elements, the recommenders are using a hybrid to then deliver highly relevant results based on a number of different things. So where to put these recommenders? Of course, there are tons of key places on an e-commerce site, from the home page, category pages, on the product page itself, of course, so that classic cross-sell and upsell area. The basket pages are another area where increasing that average order is really crucial. But then our success team are really great at working with clients to design more creative ways of using recommendations in different areas of the site. So, for example, on the search results itself, based on what people are searching for, recommend products that are related to that search. Maybe set up a My Recommendations page within the account area. This is something that is completely overhead free. It's a place where your customers can go, and whenever they're viewing it, they'll be refreshed, engaging content the system's doing automatically. So in terms of how these recommenders look on your site, it's imperative that they are thoroughly embedded into the site's design and look and feel, so that it isn't jarring, that it's not overly obvious that it's something that is overtly selling to them. It should be part of your brand. It should be part of your, we know you, welcome, and here are some recommendations. And you know that they're relevant already because the system is taking care of that. But in terms of how it looks, you may want to trial out the most impactful design based on your different segments. So setting up tests to see which of the designs work best. And you can see that we've got clients who use a whole array of different designs. And of course, B2C and B2B may have entirely different look and feel. That's all thoroughly customizable through the admin. So how are these working, and what are people seeing when they roll these recommenders out? Our clients are actually seeing a very high conversion rate within the navigation and the category and listing pages themselves, which is interesting because it's an area that often is overlooked. And actually, with PureClarity, people are rolling out recommenders on areas that aren't usually a key zone for this. So using within a category page, highlighting things that are relevant within the data set that's contained within the category, you're pushing things right up to the very top within the recommenders. And so people they're not having to browse through the whole category. They've already been shown what they were looking for. Then, of course, the basket page, another key area that is proving extremely successful, including the product page. And then finally, we're seeing that the order confirmation page is extremely successful in terms of people making a purchase and then within the same month going back to buy the products that they were shown right after that purchase. And you can see there that we have an example of 13 orders within the same month as a result of a recommender on that page. So recommendations and personalization has been around for a long time, ever since Amazon first rolled out the recommended for you type recommenders on their site. However, classically, this is a manual endeavor. Setting up relationships and related products within the e-commerce site itself is something that's been done for a while now. But using an automated system to do this has a number of different benefits. The overhead is minimized. The system is running through vast amounts of big data to make these decisions around what is relevant themselves. The overhead on marketing, e-commerce and merchandising teams is vastly reduced, leaving you to focus on the strategy. The AI engine is using the data that it's capturing to make these correlations, and it's things that only a system can do. And analysing this data and running it through the engine real time means that, of course, it can do that while a user is on the site, as opposed to taking that data and manually working with it to make these relationships and assumptions. Doing these recommendations manually also requires ongoing management. So as your customers evolve and as your products evolve, and even seasonality, all of these things impact how regularly you will need to continue to do the relationships and the recommendations. And you're going to have to monitor all of these things continuously to make the recommenders more relevant to people as they come on the site, because they can quickly get out of date based on their own behavior on the site, but also the seasons, and of course just over time as people change. Now, we appreciate that with automated systems, there is still the need to sometimes override these and set up your own strategies or have a hybrid of both. And that's where the systems that have both of these are extremely powerful, which is where PureClarity comes in with the merchandising. So using the behavioural data that the system is tracking, you can then use this to work with the success management team to design campaigns and recommenders around what you're learning from the data. And so what you can do is really tailor them to the types of people that you're speaking to. So you can see here, we know that this lady loves cycling based on her past behaviour. And so just by changing up the language, you can indirectly influence that user experience and engage with them more. Again, featuring a customer's favourite brand means that you're speaking to them on an emotive level. You're reaching them because you know what they're interested in already. And so you can really personalise from the minute that they land on the site based on what you know about them. In real time, if people are viewing different categories and products and brands, as they then go on to view different pages, you're carrying through a consistent message based on what they've looked at in that session already in real time. Things that people are likely to buy again, like subscriptions or even products that are consumable. So maybe they would need to buy them every couple of months if they're going to be used up and run out. This is an extremely powerful way of very easily targeting people who you know are likely to be running low on the item that they just bought or something that they're going to want to buy again. And then, of course, trending, best-selling, things that people are searching for, top click-throughs. You're using all this data to inform what to highlight and promote across your site, including brands and categories. So in terms of the benefits and the success rate of what people are seeing here, there are a whole range of different recommenders that the artificial intelligence is using, as well as things that people are setting themselves as part of a wider campaign that they've designed with their success manager. An example here, you can see that a particular recommender, this is presenting the best-selling product in a particular category that is based on the segmentation data. This is one of the recommender types. And you can see that it's got a click-through rate of 10%. But of those click-throughs, the conversion rate is 12%, which is fantastic. And this is across the board. We're seeing these results, as you can see, on a number of different recommenders across a number of different places. And of course, based on their objectives for the campaign, clients are extremely thrilled with these results. So does anybody have any questions on the things that we've been through? I've had a number come in while I've been speaking. So what I'm going to do is run through them now, and if you just want to continue to send them in, I'll see how many I can get through as we wrap up. So one person's asked about mobile and you know how does the system work on mobile. So obviously mobile is a key area of e-commerce. More and more people are shopping on there, and in terms of setting things up recommender-wise on mobile and desktop, the system's been designed to allow you to set them up different on each device, meaning that you can target people who are regularly shopping on the mobile and you know where they're coming from. So the recommenders are completely responsive on both of those devices. So how does the implementation work? Okay, so in terms of rolling out merchandising, there's 3 elements to the implementation. The first element is simply adding in the tracking and the JavaScript snippets into the site, so dropping those in. Then you'll send over a feed to us with product data in it, similar to a Google Shopping feed. And then finally, you'll style up the recommendation zones so that they fit in with your site. And that's it. Everything's linked together using a unique access key. And then once you've implemented those three things, you use the admin to design your content. You can get started straight away. Okay, so somebody else has asked, do they work straight away? So I assume that by this question, it's once you've implemented it, is it sort of tracking things straight away? And the answer is yes. And what we do is we recommend that just before you launch, you process a past order feed so that we have all the information about what people have purchased on your site previously and can make these relationships between all the different products, meaning that from the second you go live, your recommenders will be populated with things based on people's behaviour. We have, do you take a cut of revenue? So the answer is no. So PureClarity's pricing is based entirely on impressions and it's levels. And so based on your impressions for the month, you just simply go up or down the levels depending on any peaks and troughs during the season. So I've got quite a lot of questions coming in now. So what I'll do is I'll go through these questions and I can write up the different questions and the answers and send out almost like a webinar pack and answer those because I'm getting quite a lot of them coming in now. So thank you very, very much for your time, and it's been great presenting to you today, and I hope you join me for my next webinar. Have a good day. Bye everyone.